Alright guys, welcome back to the GSL Up and Down matches. We've got Keen versus YugiOh, our only non-Protoss match of the day.
Yeah, and it's going to be a good one. We're going to get to see a ZVT on Talder and Malter, a nice big map. Hopefully we'll get to see a nice, long, fulfilling macro game, Wolf.
Yeah, we will.
Excited, man. We found out something interesting over the break, didn't we?
Well, you know,
interesting fact.
Well, I'll have to tell you guys the story once we're in game. It's a longer story and the countdown is starting.
Oh, alright then.
But
I tried to set you up so nicely.
I know, you did.
You just slammed the basketball right down. I was about to dunk it.
I know, man. I'm like that really good defender. Someone in the crowd had a sign that said brick.
Oh, I don't know. And one.
Alright, well, our map is Tal'Darim Altar. It's loaded. Keen versus YugiOh. Keen already down a game. Can he bring himself to 1-1 here? Let's find out.
Down at the bottom right part of the map is a player that's down one game in today's Up and Down group. From the team MVP in the red, he is
MVP Kid.
Some Keen fans in the audience today. He's got a bit of a following. People like the guy. I like him overall. And up at the top left part of the map is our player from the Team Slayers, our only Zerg of the group. He is I just can't take that voice seriously anymore.
I can just imagine Kerrigan playing YugiOh.
I know, just trap card.
She picks it up.
It's like playing with Pokemon card game with Kerrigan. I choose Lickitung. My favorite Pokemon name. I just play that a lot. What's your favorite Pokemon, Wolf?
My favorite Pokemon is Zubat.
Zubat?
Zubat, man.
Why is that?
Zubat's just so misunderstood, man. Everyone thinks he's just that annoying thing that you run into in the cave.
Well, he is.
And he uses Screech or whatever, and like,
yeah, that's annoying.
In confusion, your Pokemon becomes confused. You're like, I just want to get through this cave. Zubat, though, he just wants you to capture him. You know, he just wants to get out of that cave.
He wants
to get out of there, man.
He doesn't have eyes, and that always freaked me out.
He uses echolocation, man. When he evolves,
he's just like a big toothy mouth.
He evolves the Golbat, he gets eyes, and if you take really good care of your Golbat, he'll become a Crobat. Zubat is the best Pokemon, man. I don't know what else. I don't know how anyone else can say things differently.
Lickitung is my favorite Pokemon name, but I like Oddish. It's my favorite Pokemon because he just chills out, man. He doesn't like hit things or anything like that. He just like spreads his spores, like makes people go to sleep. He's just like the helpful Pokemon. He's a nice guy, man.
SCV ready.
I guess that is the case.
Yeah.
Well, Keen has done it again. He's taken one barracks with no gas and then added 2 gas simultaneously. In this case, making his command center after his gases.
Oh.
And YugiOh for hatchery first, by the looks of things, and is already mining from that base. Started 2 queens now. He's mining that gas.
Now, I'm wondering what getting your 2 gases right before the command center is going to do to the timings. Obviously, it's going to make your tech come a little bit quicker, but I haven't seen too many players do that, actually. I mean, the common way to do things is to get your gases after the command center.
Yeah, that's usually the way you see it. A lot of Terrans did that back in some of our open seasons, like Open Season 2. People are figuring it out. You go command center first, and add your gas at the same time. This is going to be a Reactor Hellion build. He's going to get the Reactor Hellions out after the command center in this case. Yeah, basically it just means you get your command center faster, I guess. Well, no, in this case,
slower.
You get it slower because you made the gases first.
But you do get your Hellions
faster, though. The command center is faster than you would have it if you had made your reactor and your Hellions before the, started the reactor before the command center.
Oh, right.
So I guess it's like a very similar build, and we're gonna see Mech play out of Keen. He's starting a second factory.
Yeah. Okay, I was wondering if he was gonna do this. Yeah, he's putting down a second factory. That's why he got the gases first. He wanted enough For 2 factories right away, that makes a lot more sense.
In this case, you get your command center first, but you can still put pressure on the Hellions, and you can go into mech play. And
yeah,
that's exactly why he's doing this.
He's going to get a tech lab on that barracks now and then switch it over and probably go blue flame and just pump out a ton of Hellions. Yep, there's a tech lab on the barracks.
There's no doubt in my mind that's what we're going to see.
Yeah.
YugiOh going for that very new,
Roach Warren.
common Roach Warren pressure. He's
I like
also
this.
getting a lair actually at the same time. Going to follow up with mutas most likely off of 2 base.
I like this early Roach pressure that Zerg players have been doing because it does a good job of punishing all the Terrans who've been going Reactor and Hellion Expand, which basically all Terrans are doing right now. Now, has he actually made any Roaches yet? I don't think he has.
No, he is not.
Okay, so he's gotten the Roach Warren, maybe sort of as a defensive measure then. You see a lot of Zerg players making Roaches to attack with,
right?
But he's just making it defensively at the moment.
And Zergling's speed just finished. The Zerglings are going to come over here and
look at that.
sneak past that bunker. You're going to see everything in here.
They do.
Now he might start making some Roaches. Now he knows what's going on.
And interestingly enough as well, he not making Blue Flame, instead going after... I see what you're seeing. Instead of just going for tanks, there's a second Roach Warren that just popped up.
Actually, he canceled his other one apparently.
Oh, he did?
I can't find it. I was going to say...
Oh, I was wondering. Okay.
That explains everything.
All right. So a little bit of indecisiveness by YugiOh. I mean, like we mentioned earlier, Cello is kind of like, well, I don't know if he's ready to get into Code S. YugiOh doesn't actually live at the Slayer's house, and he hasn't even been practicing with the team, actually. Cello was telling me that he's been practicing quite a bit with the NS Hozo team, actually. So he's got a lot of friends on that team. And so Cello was like, I don't really know, how he's been preparing for this, because I haven't talked to him in a while.
Yeah, it's a little bit weird when you hear stories like that, but it's very common in Korea to practice with other teams, especially if you have a lot of friends on that team.
Yeah.
5 Roaches are on the way. He's got 2 Spines here. He's got that Evolution Chamber to help block as well, and with that Spire coming along, he's going to be able to put on a little bit of pressure. Keen actually has not yet made an Armory, so he cannot make any Thors. And he's going to do this push. He's going to want to hit before the Spire is done. It's going to be pretty close.
The thing is, though, is if this push doesn't do some significant damage and the mutas come, when Keen doesn't have any anti-air, he could be in some serious trouble.
He doesn't even have an engineering bay right now. Actually.
Keen may not know it, but a lot is riding on this push.
Yeah. This is a pretty common push. He knows he's going to hit this before the Spire, at least that's what he's hoping for. And the mutas are actually going to start right at this moment. This is actually a push that's good and bad for that reason. A lot of gas is going to go into those mutas rather than Roaches. And at the same time, actually, he's only going to make 4 mutas here. Here we go. The tank siege up. The Hellions doing a lot of extra damage here. There are only a total of 5 Marines with this push.
Yeah,
so
the mutas that are coming out right now could easily kill those Marines. And once those Marines are dead, this push is over. So I think YugiOh might take a little bit of damage here, but overall he's going to be just fine because there's no armory, still no engineering bay on the way for Keen.
And those mutas do come out here. Yep. The Evolution Chamber goes down. He's going to attack while the Broodlings are attacking the Marines. Smart choice by YugiOh.
Very smart.
And takes out all the Marines, and now this push has been thwarted. Even Zerglings to catch reinforcements. He's been catching reinforcing tanks and Marines in the middle of the map. These Hellions do sneak into the main, though.
And roasting a couple drones, but I don't think YugiOh's going to take that much damage. Yeah,
notice he did not get blue
flame.
He went for fast siege mode instead.
I was really surprised by that, honestly. Normally when you go 2 fast factories like that, it's because you're going to try to put on a lot of heavy Hellion pressure with blue flame, but
Look at this timing, man. 5 turrets on the way right now as the mutas come back. His engineering bay finished just in time. He literally has no Marines back at home. He's got 2 Marines in a bunker. That's it. A 3rd Marine just popping out of that barracks.
Yeah, are they going to get there in time?
Up just in time.
Wow. That's like... I was really worried that Keen had just kind of neglected to get any sort of anti-air defense, but that just actually worked out.
He's practiced his timing quite a lot. And this is a really popular timing with mech pushes and bio pushes for the mutas, because you normally, as a Zerg player, you save up a ton of gas. Look at this Hellion sneaking in here again, going to kill some more drones. 3 Hellions can target down drones so quickly.
Yep. And YugiOh losing some more here. Looks like the Queens and Lings should be able to clean this up. Oh, a couple drones taking some hits.
Okay, could have been worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
Right now, the worker count is 48 to 41. You can see 28 workers killed in total there. Stim and +1 weapons on the way. It looks like Keen is going into more bio play now. He's actually gone up to 4 barracks here, making a 3rd command center. And we thought he was going to mech for sure, but looks like he just wanted to start things out with mech and is going to switch into more bio-oriented play. I really like that.
I don't know. Keen's playing very, very interestingly. He's doing a lot of things that well, certainly I'm not expecting, and that YugiOh is definitely not expecting as well. You know, he showed YugiOh the 2 factories, but like you said, he's adding on a bunch of barracks now. He's going to switch things up.
What happened with this push from Keen is if the timing had been just a little bit better, it would have been much better of a push. And on a map that's not Tal'Darim Altar or not cross positions Tal'Darim Altar, that push could have actually ended the game. And similarly, though, because this is Tal'Darim Altar, it took the Mutas a long time to get over here as well. It gave them time to get those turrets up, so it was kind of the map just kind of changed the game for those pushes.
Yeah, it was good and bad for him.
Yeah, for both players, really.
Yeah. I suppose that's good, you know?
Yeah.
If it's good and bad, I think that's what they call balanced. I don't want to start that thread, though. Well,
YugiOh is going to catch some of these Marines over here, which are actually targeting down the rocks. He may be able to get some free hits in. Decides not to. It's always really lucky when you can catch units attacking rocks because they're targeting those and not your units. And he does see it. He's going to go for it. Really smart by YugiOh.
Yeah,
and now he actually can clean up all of these Marines.
Wow.
Oh.
That was a beautiful surgical
Got to be so
strike.
careful when you attack rocks, man. Or that can happen to you.
Absolutely. He just lost about a dozen Marines there. That takes a little while to replace.
Yeah, quite a while. YugiOh has a 3rd base finishing right now. His worker count is actually caught up. He's 58 to 55 right now. In fact, 61 with a few more drones popping. He's got Baneling speed on the way. +1 Carapace getting a few more mutas. His mutalist count now is up to 18. Does have +1 for those mutas as well. Doing a little bit of extra damage.
Yep.
The armory is just finishing for Keen, so he's probably going to start a few Thors. He's got a lot of minerals stacked up there and a lot of gas. He's probably going to make 2 Thors here as he continues Marine production.
Now, the nice thing for YugiOh is that he can really keep Keen in his base. You know, he's going to make it very difficult for Keen to ever think about taking a 3rd. At least not until the Thors come out. You can see 2 on the way there. But, you know, he's just going to harass quite a bit.
Look at this, cleaning up these Marines because he knows he has the better numbers here.
And that command center is suddenly in huge trouble.
And then YugiOh is actually playing this really smartly. I think he's outplaying Keen here so well.
Yeah, he is at the moment. It's going to be a different story when those Thors come out. That's kind of the thing. It's going to be
those Thors are going to stop the harassment, but it will allow YugiOh to take a 4th base. When the Thors start pushing out on the map, he's going to know about it. He's got all 4 watchtowers right now, and every time those Thors move out, he's going to see them. He's going to run back to the base, harass, buy himself time. I'm really surprised, in fact, he hasn't taken a 4th base. He is, though, taking a macro hatchery, something that a lot of Zergs do not do, but it's becoming almost the norm now. It's almost impossible to see game.
Yeah, if you're on 3 bases, you can really only spend your money effectively if you're macroing correctly with the macro hatch as well. So
yeah,
nearly all Zergs.
Yeah, he's going to go for these Marines again, maybe. Oh, taking a hit from the Thor, decides to get out of there.
Yeah, big hit from that Thor, actually.
Starts up microing on those rocks, taking them out.
Hey, man, those rocks are dangerous. You got to micro your heart out against them.
He was doing it, of course, just in case the Mutas decided to come back while he was targeting them again.
Yeah.
Hive going down, as well as Pathogen Glands, +1 Carapace for Flyers, and +2 Ground Carapace.
Yeah, you know, I mean, if you can get the jump on your turn opponent with those Broodlords, you can do okay. I mean, he's going to try to go Infestor Broodlord, fairly common, but he's doing it a little bit quicker than most Zergs would in this case, so he's trying to catch Keen unawares, you know, before he has any Vikings out or anything like that.
Well, here comes a huge Muta flyby coming in here, taking out the turret. Going to get some medevacs that are popping out. But the Muta's getting caught by some Marines here. Not what he wants to have happen.
Yeah, he's got to be a little bit careful with those Mutas. Some of those are starting to get pretty low health, and that is a big scary push.
Scary push, man. Right now, Keen is actually up 20 supply.
I was just looking at that. I was like, you know, that looks like a pretty big food army, and yeah.
YugiOh, I think, made too many Mutas, didn't use them as well as he could have, and now is kind of stuck in a position where he's going to try to use his Mutas to turn Keen around, but Keen is not going to turn around, man. Look at this. Stimming his Marines in this main to chase his Mutas away.
Yep. And that's not going to help, letting a few of your units run out like that, because all the tanks, they're not on siege, but he's still going to lose everything. Some Banelings wasted on those siege tanks there.
Yeah, not good to see those Banelings used in such a way.
Yep.
He's going to actually start elevating some units up here. These investors have enough energy for Bungle. Gets all those Marines.
Wow.
Huge. Bungles them again. They'll all die.
There's a couple of them.
A few of those not bungled twice.
Yep. There we go. Now, meanwhile, the Mutas have been long since chased out by Keen.
He's going to use them to clean up these Marines here. The Baneling nest goes down. He's already remade it. Greater Spire is on the way, as well as 7 Corruptors right now. Like I said yesterday, 7's usually the magic number with Corruptors, man.
Well, he's trying to get those Broodlords out still because it's one of the few things that could kind of keep him in the game.
He's going to try to magic box these Thors, but there are a lot of Marines here. I think this is a huge mistake by YugiOh.
Yeah, YugiOh is just in a position right now. It's going to be, oh man, taking so many hits from the Thors. He's just in a position right now where it's going to be really tough to engage that army, and if he doesn't, you know, at the very least, he's going to lose his natural. The mutas are almost dead now. This game is starting to look like it might be a win for Keen pretty soon here. Yeah,
YugiOh is starting to fall apart. He got a 4th base. It's at 9 o'clock position on the map, but unfortunately, it's just not accessible really for him right now. He can try to sneak some drones over there, but all it's going to take is 5 Marines from Keen to clean it up. A huge Zergling force going over there. It's going to go for this flank.
Or the counterattack, or he might be cutting off reinforcements.
He's going to cut off reinforcements, I think, and then go for a flank. But even so, it's just so many units. He can't even kill the reinforcements.
I think
the reinforcements alone, man, are just. Yeah, I think you're right. He's actually going to go for it. It's not going to work.
Yep, he's desperate, man. He wants to do everything he can to win this game, but it's going to be too little, too late. Yeah, I mean, he can camp the production facilities, but look at that. Almost everything getting roasted by the tanks right away. In the meantime, everything of YugiOh is getting taken down. Oh, but there are Broodlords there.
The Broodlords are going to try their best, but with scans here and the amount of Marines he has. Whoa, nice pickup there to avoid those Banelings. Yeah. He just has so many Marines, he's going to drop on the other side, and the Broodlords will have nowhere to run. The Banelings not even coming in to help them. Yeah, this is not looking good. Nice bungle, though. Some of those Marines, and it looks like he actually will keep these Broodlords alive for a little while.
Yeah.
And in fact, these Broodlords are actually starting to clean up this mech army with some infested Terrans helping out.
It's got to be embarrassing for the Thor to be picked up by the medevac, blown away from the battle.
Look at this, man. He's cleaning up some of these tanks. YugiOh actually may be able to recover from this. His drones somehow sneak out as well.
Well, I mean, without Vikings, it's really difficult to deal with those Broodlords. He had him in a great position over that gap between the main and the natural when Keen moved in a little bit farther, and he took down that attack pretty easily.
And now there is a 3rd base up for YugiOh. His natural is completely destroyed. He's going to remake it immediately. But what I'm worried about for YugiOh is the next push, the next wave. And he's actually sending a somewhat small force across the middle of the map.
Yeah, I kind of question the wisdom of this a little bit, because that's not really enough Marines and Thors and things to handle those Broodlords that YugiOh has right now.
I'd like to see him wait until that base at the 9 o'clock that he's just landed. He moved his main command center to the 9 o'clock base. I'd like to see him get that saturated, drop a lot of mules there, get a larger force, and then attack. He is getting a Ghost Academy. He's got some Vikings out to help deal with those Broodlords. The Ghosts, of course, can snipe the Broodlords, but also, more importantly, can EMP the Infestors.
Exactly. Yeah, he's making Vikings to try to handle the Broodlords, so the Ghosts will probably just be for the Infestors.
Look at this, man, this Lost Temple-esque tank drop over there.
All we need is the Thor. Oh, but the Broodlords are going to take care of that pretty easily.
The Broodlords do clean up that tank drop.
Mobius reactor. Get research. Always makes me think of Morpheus from the
Oh, wow. Getting so many Marines here. That's huge for YugiOh. He needs little things like this to get back in this game, but Keen still with a 20 supply lead. Looks like he's not going to be able to mine from that natural for very long, if at all. Catching some of these Vikings, though.
Yeah, not quite enough Corruptors to go head-to-head with the Vikings, but between that and the few infested Terrans, YugiOh will be able to keep them alive at least. And here come the Broodlords again, but there are 4 Vikings there.
Yeah, he's going to have to be careful with those Vikings, though. A lot of infested Terrans being dropped. And the siege tanks, though, may clean up the majority of them. He's just going to have to pull back for a second, then kite the Broodlords. I guess you could say kite the infested Terrans and the Broodlords.
I guess. I mean, I don't know how...
It's a complicated dance, man.
I feel like he could have gotten a good fungal off on those Vikings. They were all clumped up. It would have been a good opportunity.
But, on the other hand, the siege tanks could have killed all the infestors during that moment if he got too close to the Vikings. So
that's a good point as well, yeah.
I think that was his rationale there. But either way, it's very difficult to use them. Uh-oh, the infestors decide they want to try to get some fungals now, taking a lot of hits from those siege tanks.
Only 1 Broodlord left.
Yeah, last Broodlord, another one pops.
So despite a nice little sort of hold from YugiOh, it looks like Keen is still in a good position to take this game. He has taken his 4th base, producing 7 Marines at a time, getting lots of Vikings out. I think he knows, yeah.
All of the Vikings get fumbled there, as well as these Marines, and over here on the other side, wow. But those Marines were taken over to clean up that base that was attacked by the siege tanks earlier. And at the natural, the push looks like it's been mostly thwarted. He's killing the Vikings now with the fungal. But Keen is still up 50 supply, and he was able to re-secure that 4th base, whereas now YugiOh is mining from a natural that's almost mined out, and his 3rd base, which is way oversaturated on.
Oh, look at this. 10 mutas on the way for YugiOh, so he's going to try to go back into sort of some muta harassment style. He's got enough infestors out where if he keeps them alive, that's really all he needs.
Yeah, and in fact, the Marine count's really low right now. Mutas do quite well against Vikings unless they fight them like this, where they're not all together.
Yeah. And
some Marines coming in to help out as well, and I think this might be the end for YugiOh. That's just way too many reinforcing Marines. He just had so good production for so long. GG.
So Keen brings it back to 1-1. He is not quite dead yet.
Not quite, man.
YugiOh goes down 0-1 in our group. And Keen, obviously, actually he's 1-1, but he doesn't look too happy with himself after that game too. It was a bit of a sort of a drag out, sort of a sloppy fisticuffs type game too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that is the type of game where after you're done playing, you're like, oh, that just didn't feel good.
Well, yeah, you feel like, oh, that was kind of a close call.
Yeah.
There were several times in that game where I felt like I wasn't playing very well. Like, I felt like I made a lot of mistakes. My opponent didn't quite capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Like, I had my 5 missile turrets up just in time for those mutas. And my push that I attacked with, I killed a lot of drones, but I would have liked to have done more. And at cross positions, like I said, it's very difficult to make that push work.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a common push. Your opponent, if you're going bio, is going to be trying to make banelings, or if you're going for that mech type of play, is going to be trying to make roaches. But if he doesn't know you're pushing, then he's going to wait, and he's going to make 8 mutas. And then it's like 800 gases are gone, and those mutas are not very strong fighting units, so it's like, uh-oh. Yeah. But in this case, he made only 4, and he held the attack fairly well, lost a lot of drones because the Hellions, there were just so many, they ran by. And after the mutas came in, he just had those missile turrets up just in time. I mean, to the second.
Well, with the way that Keen has been playing too, and YugiOh played in that game, I've got a feeling we're going to see those guys kind of stay in Code. I think we're going to see Keen go down. I've kind of been, even though he won that game, just looking at that and then looking at the other play we've seen already today, I'm starting to sort of form some opinions about how this group is going to turn out.
Yeah, I would
see
agree.
if I'm right, but
I think Keen, he's one of those guys where he plays inconsistently. Yeah. I mean, I've said this a few times. He just plays kind of inconsistently. He shows awesome games one day, the next day just does not.
Well,
all right. Well, the Sith Lord meets the man behind the curtain here.
It's like, this is the blood of your teammates. Actually, that's in an orange juice bottle, isn't it?
Yeah, he's put tomato juice in an orange juice bottle.
See, it's actually blood. You don't just put orange juice randomly in other bottles, man. You just buy a bottle of orange juice. All right, now I'm scared.
He likes orange juice and blood. So it's just convenient for him.
I don't think that would, I'm like trying to imagine how that would taste.
No, I just mean he drinks,
really
or he just likes to drink orange juice, but he has a lot of
okay.
bottles.
I thought you
so
meant
he
like mixed together.
No, he just uses the bottles to store it.
You're just weird, Wolf. Let's move into the game here. PvP action here at the GSL Up and Down.